G'day, Lockie here, and welcome back to another OSS unboxing. Today we're going to be doing part 2 of a 3-part series where we're looking at service mesh interface. Now, if you missed the last video, go check out the traffic split SMI interface where we perform a canary deployment using SMI. Today we're going to take a look at specifically traffic policy. So if you go to smi-spec.io, you can take a look at what SMI currently covers, and one of those areas is traffic policy. So this is allowing service-to-service connectivity on a service mesh. Now the demo I'm going to show is using HashiCorp console under the hood as the service mesh and the data plane, and we're going to deploy an adapter that actually looks at this traffic policy, SMI traffic policy API, and implements that natively as policy or intentions in console. So basically, let's pop on over and get into it. We have a cluster here. I have a couple tabs open. We'll go into why they're there in a minute. But basically, in the default namespace here, I'm running a console cluster. And I'm also, if I just pop back up here, this is really what I want to show you. I have an example application that consists of 2 components, a dashboard component that's running and a counting component. So we're going to create policy to allow these 2 components to talk to each other. If I pop back over to the browser over here, we can go and take a look, and this is actually the dashboard service. At the moment, it cannot reach the counting service. And if we pop to this tab, we can see the console UI, and I have no intentions defined, so I'm not allowing that, which is why the dashboard cannot talk to the counting service. I'm going to pop over to VS Code here just to walk you through what I'm going to apply. So first I'm going to apply the traffic spec controller, which is going to look at this traffic spec resource and actually implement it into console. So we don't really need to look at that. That's just a pod and it listens on there, but the traffic policy is really interesting. So we're going to define traffic spec here. We're going to say we're allowing TCP for the dashboard to the counting service. So we're giving it a name, and then a traffic target. The interesting thing here is that we're implementing that spec for this traffic, so only TCP traffic. But really, here's the interesting thing. So we're not leaving the Kubernetes API, and we're actually saying, using the counting service account as a destination in this namespace, I'm going to allow this source. So dashboard can talk to counting over TCP. Okay, I'm going to pop back over here. So we're watching this service. What I'm first going to do is kubectl apply, and I'm going to apply the SMI traffic spec controller. Now that's going to look at the existence of this traffic target, and so basically this specification and this of these kinds, and implement them straight into console. Right, so that has happened. Now I can do a kubectl. Actually, what I'll do down here is do kubectl get pods in default namespace. I can see that it's running kubectl logs -f, so we can see exactly what's happening. So once I create kubectl create -f traffic policy, so we're going to apply this policy. We should see down here the controller pick it up. So let's do that. So I've created the TCP route, and I've created the traffic target. You can see that these intentions are being synced, creating it, okay, and it is synced. So it syncs successfully. So let's get the browser back up here, and without even refreshing, we can see that we're now connected, and each time I hit this, there's a service hitting it, so we're connected. The other thing we can do is actually go back and look at our intentions again, and you can see that dashboard can now connect to counting. So again, this is great use of the SMI specification. So console is ingesting that natively from the Kubernetes API, the declarations that I've made, and implementing them in console natively. So without leaving Kubernetes, I'm able just to use the service counts and specific namespaces that map to these services, and they get declared as intentions. So that's it. Next video we'll be doing is taking a look at the telemetry. So join us for that video. If you really appreciated this video, I'd I'd be thankful if you give me some likes, and feel free to subscribe so that I know that I'm creating great content. Thanks for joining us and learning a little bit about SMI and what it does. Cheers.